We talk about the funding while we're driving.
Yeah, that's where we're going to the Y now.
Aren't you putting this stuff in the...
Oh yeah, oh yes. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, that would have been...
So I will just switch the angle. I will be right back.
Okay. Thanks for not filming me while you're doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's filming me going to the drop box.
Makes sense.
And Josh, since it's just spitting, do you want to do the embarrassments today, or?
It depends how much time we have.
Okay.
Let's see how much time we have after the Y.
Okay. How was that?
That was you did it before. It was about the same as the last one.
Okay. Move this back to. Do you want some gum?
Yes, that's a great idea. Thank you. Give me two. Can I get 2 pieces?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. All right, off to the Y.
Yep. I miss having gum in this car.
Yeah. Too bad we ran out. I did actually have some, but it got used up before I could bring it over here.
So that's the timesheets?
That's the mileage sheet, and that's the time sheet.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you want me to sign them right now?
Yeah, you can do that. That's worth one up. Yeah, there's nothing to sign there. It's on the other one.
There you go.
Thank you.
Here's the pen.
Thank you. And now off to the Y.
And also to discuss the funding.
Yeah. So, the issue with the funding is, like I said, so everything kind of stemmed from a misunderstanding of how things were supposed to work. See, I've never actually been... They changed the way that the contracts are shown to me. Because I never actually got shown, oh, this is like it's... I know for a fact that we did a lot more hours this past year than this year. So something changed with the... something changed with the funding. There was a lot of, like, I was talking with Jill, who was in charge of all the staff there at EAFWR. And also was a lot more stressed out about funding. the thing that was surprising was she knew that I was being very careful with the money. So it wasn't like we were gonna exceed the spending. And I had asked her, how much money do we have? And she said, well, we don't know yet. So I said, okay, I guess we'll work that out later. But what I didn't know was that as a result of one, it was a combination of our April
the 3rd.
Our Good Friday visit with the Mario movie and a bunch of other stuff. It took most of the day. And now she's saying, well, if you're going to do that, you have to get approval for more hours. And I'm thinking, no, that's not what we did before. So my thinking is that she just forgot that that's not what we did before. And I brought that up in a call with Jill, and I said, no, I took Adrian to Woodstock to see a movie once, and no one had any issues with that. So now it's just like, oh, things are different now, and they just forgot to tell me, and they thought that I knew, which is a thing that happens a lot. People spend so much time in their...
we need to... Your windows are getting fogged up.
Yep, I'll fix that.
Okay, back to what you were saying.
Yeah. So what happened was Nasra didn't have information to give me, and she kind of didn't say explicitly you can't go for a long period of time on, because she said was you can't do a seeds trip on April the 3rd, Good Friday.
And we didn't.
We didn't. But she also didn't know that we were going to end up spending like 8 or 9 hours out.
So that's why she gave you that.
So I got this weird email from her saying that I deliberately did something that I wasn't supposed to do, and I followed up with her and I was like, no, we didn't talk about this and this and this. So it was just an annoying thing. So that much is resolved. But now
Nostra has put a leash on us until further notice.
It's not a leash. She wants us to be more careful with the number of hours. Like starting in June, we're going to get 10 hours to do what we want. And so long as we break that up, that could be like, because usually our visits are like 3 hours.
Yes.
Right? The only thing that's different is we got to check with her to see if we want more than 6 hours on a non-seeds trip thing. I think they're just trying to like tighten up some stuff around seeds funding or whatever. So here's what the changes are as follows. I have to get approval from her to do any sort of thing that's outside the Kitchener-Waterloo Guelph area.
Yes.
By doing a seeds application. I cannot do seeds applications. Well, I have to put in the seeds application, and then it will be approved. But it's only approved for things after May the 1st, which we are in now. So I have to wait to hear back from them about that. That's change number 1. Change number 2 is if we're going to do a visit that's going to cost more than 6 hours. Like if we go out again if we were to go out again on like May the 18th, we could go to a movie on May the 18th if I'm not working. But I have to get approval from Nostra and say, no, I'm only going to bill for this number of hours first. Which may have to happen. Which is not the end of the world. It's just going to mean an extra email. That's number 2. And number 3, we only have 5 hours to spend in May, which is not a terrible thing. It just means that over the next couple of weeks, like I said, we can only do this visit, Mortal Kombat, and the zoo.
Yes.
But once we get into June, then we can probably do more stuff.
Yep.
So all in all, not that much of a change. I don't think we were doing more than 10 hours a month. And also there's a bunch of like, well, you also have this amount of money for this and that amount of money for that. So I really don't understand I really don't understand that, so I'm going to have a discussion like we have now, what's called, where all the DSPs get on a Zoom, on a Google Meets call, and we talk about stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, all right, here's my contract, and we explain exactly this and exactly how much money there is. Because when I knew, sorry, the cop just pulled a UE there, so I didn't know what was going on for a minute. Because when I knew exactly how much money we had, I was able to basically calibrate it so that we could do most of what we wanted to do. The one thing we didn't get to do yet was the zoo, but it turns out that if we had gone and done the zoo, then we would have probably had that same issue with Nasser that we did.
Yeah.
So
she doesn't have no issues with the planning we did on Good Friday of all the stuff that we want to do for the rest of this year.
No. I told her everything that we needed to do. I gave her the list. I told her about the Bingaman's pass, which still needs to be figured out because, like I told you, it seems to be a bit of confusion about who the pass is for. But that will get worked out because we're not going to Bingaman's until June. But that was part of our plan. We weren't going to go to Bingaman's until June. I told her about all the seed strips we want to do. She says, okay, make applications, and I'm going to make the applications. So that's okay. And in terms of our regular stuff with movies and whatever, that should be fine. Based on the movie that we're thinking about. So based on the plan that we came up with, we should be able to do everything we want to do. It's just we may have to wait a bit longer to do. Again, we have to wait until now to do the zoo. And this month is not going to be as busy with visits. Really, that's it.
And since we're at the Y, we could possibly do the embarrassments before we go in.
Yeah, sure, let's do that. Just need to find a decent parking space. Yeah, there's a playground over there, and we can go underneath this shelter and do that if you want. Whoops.
Well, we can't do the Joker dance because we need the grandstand for that.
Well, no, we can do the Joker dance on the tables. We don't need a lot of stairs. We just need a couple of them, and we can use the tables as the stairs. But we shouldn't probably both go on the same picnic table at the same time. What do you think of that idea?
I want to save it for when we go to Riverside after the gym.
Okay. Well, let me see. Let me get out of the car and take a look around. Yeah, unfortunately there are no steps that we can use. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, you want to do the other embarrassments?
How many embarrassments do we have in total?
Well, let's pull up the list.